test market, lead market, national launch
Yeah,
scenario?
something like that, yeah. So I'll use an example that is neither one of us. So SCJ just launched a new plastic aerosol, Glade. They only launched it in 5 flavors, one size, a couple different colors of caps, and it's limited distribution. I only saw it in Target for a long enough time. I think I once saw it in Kroger's. But I think what they did is they're trying to see if this premium product that's in a different package works before they jump full scale into it. So it's kind of like the whole test market thing. You're just scaling your market back, which scales back your tooling needs. And it's usually an easier argument if it's working really well with the customer. You're selling a lot. It's usually much easier to get more money from the standpoint finance. You're selling everything you can make. Let's go build more.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely look at that, and where we always get hung up. We get hung up in that sort of catch-22 loop with demand spend, then where marketing's like, all right, I'm not going to demand spend if it's a small initiative out the door, and then you don't get the trial driving tactics that really help you build. We get sort of caught in that doom loop.
Yep, we've been in that loop.
Have you seen any ways or best practices around solving for that?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit there. Could you repeat?
Have you seen any best practices around or examples of solving for that?
The best example I had was where I started with, because we've done a number of times where we've moved to the platform strategy and built the molds in such a way that you could amortize them out over a different landscape. That's had positive financial returns. We have some products where we are on the 5th or 6th generation of the core tool platform. It also has an added bonus of Gen 2, 3, 4, take less work for qualification, less time for qualification. There's no build. So it has ongoing cost benefits, FTE benefits, and time benefits.
Yeah, we've been exploring that more recently, right? About how do you develop and keep cores and get more cost effective and still differentiate enough on the things that aren't the core to look different on the shelf, right?
Mm-hmm. So they're not the consumer noticeable things are the parts that you make that are changeable.
Do you think in that F.C. Johnson example, so you said that you think you saw it at Target only first?
Yeah.
How do they address the demand piece of that? Is it by having Target somehow target?
I don't know, but what I think it is, they did them more as promotionals. They were on end caps. They weren't on the shelf. So my guess is they probably opened it up to a few key people saying, hey, we're running a national test market. We're going to pick a customer to start the launch with. If it works, we'll make it available to everybody. But it's probably somewhere in that space. But again, they weren't breaking into the main shelf. They were on end caps as part of displays or sent in standalone displays. That's how I think they got around it.
Are they looking for repeat or trial in that kind of because that skews trial, right? If it's all end cap.
Yeah, they're probably looking for trial. And it was a portfolio, so we're still using that example. They had, I think, 5 aerosols, all in the same flavor. They had some plug-ins, same flavors, and they had some scented candles, all the same flavors. So they were trying to tie together as a theme, but the plug-ins and the candles are from their stock portfolio. They just made them the same flavor. I think the thing that they were testing was the plastic aerosol.
Got it. Did you, so if you go with like sort of that model where, you lean into a test market, lead market, end caps or displays, one of the watch outs, right, is that you do get a lot of consumer pool, but then you don't have the molds to support volume. Did you guys ever find any good ways to sort of shortcut the timeline on cutting steel?
So it depends on how aggressive you want to be. So if you start off on a relatively small volume, say you'll build a 48 cavity tool,